Hey, what's up guys? It's Luke, and you're watching Luke the Gathering. Thanks for checking out the channel and the video. I really appreciate it, as always. Today, it's Friday, and I just got back from Friday Night Magic. Last week, we had an awesome time with Dominaria Remastered. The store that I go to, Davis Cards and Games, they really just sold through that product so quickly. I think they only had enough for one draft, so we had that one draft last week, and now we're back to Brothers War. I was going to say Phyrexia, but no, that's something I'm really looking forward to. This was Brothers War. It feels like it's been Brothers War season forever. We've been drafting it, playing it. I did miss a week, so even if I had that week, boy, we've been playing Brothers War for a very long time. But I'm very used to this set now. I think my favorite color combinations are Selesnya, which is green and white, and I guess this other one is Rakdos. I'm not a huge Rakdos fan in this particular set, but I tend to draft Rakdos a lot because the cards just come to me. And today we got a nice pile. I went 2-1. The first round was a loss. I had to play somebody with a Quietus Spike, and that thing just wrecked me in all the games. We went to the full 3 games. I won 1 in that round and lost 2, and the Quietus Spike the guy got it every time. It was rough. I got a card that I wish I could have used against him, because I got this card. Actually, I didn't ever play this specific card, which I'll show you in a minute, until the third round, and this card just completely annihilated my opponent. I actually kind of felt bad because there was just no chance against this card. And we'll take a look at it. Especially if you draw it early, it becomes just, I don't know, so hard to beat, unless you have like specific targeted removal or something like that. If you don't, you're really out of luck with this specific card, I think, because it comes down early and it just doesn't let up. All right, I guess let's just turn the camera around, take a look at the deck. All right, well, here is the first card I'm going to show you. It's Goring Warplow. It's artifact creature in, well, it's an artifact, but you know, it's mostly black because of the 1 and a black cost that you can put it out for its prototype. I actually never cast it for its prototype cost. It always came out full as a 5/4 6-drop Death Touch, which was pretty beastly, actually. Really hard to get by. And even if you had like a huge green creature that was more powerful than this, of course you could trade with it because of its Death Touch. Really nice. Aha, the Mine Worker. Now look at this, 2 Mine Workers in the deck, 2 Tower Workers in the deck, a Power Plant Worker, and then the Self-Assembler, which gets, you know, any of these. So I wish I kind of had 2 Power Plant Workers, but you know, it didn't matter too much. I got the Triume, they call it the Tron, so often, where I had the Mine Worker, Tower Worker, and Power Plant Worker all at the same time, and it was amazing. The Mine Worker gets you 3 life when you have the other 2 out there. The Tower Worker gives you 3 colorless mana when you have them all out there. And the Power Plant Worker gets you 2 +1/+1 counters for 3 mana every turn. So when you get these guys out there, it's simply incredible. And yeah, when I had them out there, they just did they did work, and it was pretty sweet to get the Self-Assembler as well. Being in Rakdos has a pretty big sacrifice theme, and so Mishra's Bauble was awesome, especially get it in your opening hand. You can play it, you can sack it, and you can see, you know, a card coming up in their library, and then you get a draw card. So cool! What a great card! And the sacrifice, even though, so as it turns out, this was way more of an artifact laden deck, not really a sacrifice Rakdos, but it did come in handy. Elsewhere Flask. I had this a couple weeks ago, or 3 maybe, and I used it really in a fun way to turn everything into swamps and use Corrupt to actually take an opponent out. I wanted to do that again because I got the Corrupt Elsewhere Flask combo. The problem is I never got Corrupt when I needed Elsewhere Flask. I did use Corrupt normally, when I had some swamps to take out creatures that I had to get out, but oh man, I really wanted to do the big Elsewhere Flask Corrupt combo where you turn everything into a swamp, play Corrupt, and maybe even kill your opponent that way. Clay Revenant, really cool because there's a big sacrifice theme in Red Black. Like I said, good synergies there. I thought this was a great card to pick up. It's a 1-drop. The only bad thing is it comes in the battlefield tapped, so that's definitely a drawback. But being able to recur this all the time, and I did in a few of the matches, it's great. Especially playing against a Quietus Spike. This thing, it kind of keeps coming back. It keeps you alive. It kind of chumps it for you. Now, I wasn't in green, but I took 2 Mask of the Jade Crafters. This is a great card. You can just sink a lot of mana into it. Or like, I saw a threat that was a 6/5. I made this a 7/7, and it just really stopped the threats. Really, really cool. You can unearth it for 2 and a green. I didn't really have any green, but there's a card later that I will share with you where you don't need the green. And so oftentimes this was really great to make like a bigger creature, to sort of just add a big beefy thing to the field. Gixie and Infiltrator I thought would be better. It wasn't that great. It's a fine little 2-drop. The sacrifice themes. You sacrifice the Bauble. You sacrifice other things. This thing gets a +1/+1 counter, which is great. Sometimes I've seen this card really go off where you get tons of +1/+1 counters. That never really happened in what I played. Overwhelming Remorse is an awesome removal spell. Just great. So nothing more to say there. This removal is awesome. It's 4 and a black, but for every creature card in your graveyard, you take away 1. So it can be like 1 black to exile. I think I never got it down that low, but I've got it down to like 1 and a black to exile creature planeswalker. So good. This is the card I feel worst about. Obliterating Bolt. It's a great sorcery. Deals 4 damage to creature planeswalker, and if they die, it gets exiled. So good. I didn't put this card in until my 3rd round because I just forgot. Not forgot, but like it got mixed up with other cards, and it didn't make it until then. And I never got it in play, never got in my hand, so what a waste. This could have done some work. Disfigure did some work for sure. Really great instant removal. Moment of Defiance also did work. Gives +2/+1 lifelink, and you get a draw card. Nice trick. Sibling Rivalry, a lot of people don't like these effects where you steal, your opponent's card and then, can use it, maybe sacrifice it. But this card honestly wins me lots of games. In this case, you're stealing your opponent's things. You can actually sacrifice their things as well. But in my case, in one of the combos I did, I stole the guy, made all my guys have Menace. They only had 1 blocker, and that was game. One of my rares was the Thran Spider. This didn't do a whole lot. Came on the field maybe once. It's a 3-drop, 2/4 with reach. Kind of the bad thing is it does have like a negative where you give them a Power Stone when it comes in. You get a Power Stone too, but so do they. I never really did much with Thran Spider. Junkyard Genius, really great card. This is like an enabler for Rakdos, sacrifice stuff. When it comes in, you get a Power Stone. Sweet. But for 1 red and black, if you sacrifice a creature or an artifact, like the one you just made, until end of turns, the creatures get +1/+0, menace, and haste. Those are great. And like I said, I won my last game with Junkyard Genius doing just that after I stole one of their cards, and I could have sacrificed their creature, but didn't have to. Help win me the game. Here, the last 2 cards are my big bombs, and they were really great. Mishra, Tamer of Makfawa. It says permanents you control, ward, sacrifice a permanent. Awesome. Just to target something I have, you'd have to sacrifice something. And then each artifact in your graveyard has unearthed for 1 Rakdos colors. That means you can return it from the graveyard to the battlefield. It has haste. You have to exile it at the beginning of the end step. So that is so awesome. So if you looked at the deck, I had lots and lots of artifacts. I got to bring lots of artifacts back. This actually kept me alive against that guy with the quietest spike for a long time because it kept just bringing back artifacts. He had to defend too, right? So, it wasn't that I was always on the defensive. This helped me go on the offensive. And in other games, it just helped me run over the opponent. It was really great. This card with lots of artifacts, it's incredible. It's a 4/4/2. Now, Misery's Shadow. This was misery for my opponent. I felt really bad for him. First of all, it's a 2-drop, 1 and a black. For a 2/2, if a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. That sucks. So all of the unearthed stuff is gone. And whenever things die, they just get exiled. It's nuts. Plus, for paying 1, it gets +1/+1 till end of turn. So, they're deciding, okay, well, if I block it, he's just going to pump it up. And if he lets it through, he can either pump it up to take off lots of damage or not pump it up, take a little bit of damage, and then play, cards from his hand. So this card is miserable to play against. And boy, this card was just a huge bomb for me. It was amazing. But again, like I said, sucks to play against, especially in limited. Especially if you don't have a lot of removal or anything like that. And boy, I think by one of the ending turns, he had to spend 3 or 4 plus 2 removal or tricks to get rid of it. It was nasty. And then of course the sideboard. I really wanted to put No One Left Behind in, but it didn't need it. Goblin Blast Runner was in for a little while, and none of the other stuff really saw play. Other than that, so there we go. I got a Blast Zone. Got another Mishra, different one. Cave Guard, Juggernaut. These guys didn't make it in. Okay, so for prizes, I just said, just give me a smattering of whatever you want to give me as a prize. They gave me a set booster of AFR, set booster of Strixhaven, and a set booster of Crimson Vow. So let's go ahead and open this and see what we get. AFR. I haven't actually opened AFR in a long time. Hey, we got one of the signature cards. Cool. Got the Plains, Basilisk, Priest, Unicorn, Faraday, Barbarian class, Critical Hit. Ooh, well, we got a dragon. Not a amazing dragon, but we got the Adult Gold Dragon. Nice. Oh, we got a double rare pack, True Polymorph. Oh, we got a triple rare. This is a Mythic Rare Grandmaster of Flowers foil. Planeswalker Bahamut. That's really cool. Great pack of AFR. We're going to go to the Strixhaven next. Strixhaven, of course, was my first set. A lot of great memories with Strixhaven. Probably would use these cards a lot differently than I did back when I first played the set. Rutha. This Rutha is nasty in limited. We get a Radiant Scroll Wielder as our rare, and then Putrefy, which is totally fine, as our what do you call it? The spells that you get. And then we got an Ifrit Flame Painter, which is also cool. So we got triple rare in that one. All right, Crimson Vow. I'm not even really sure what I'm looking for in Crimson Vow. That's cool. And this is a really nice swamp. Bloody Betrayal, one of my favorites, of course. I love stealing, the opponent's things. Epicure, that was a big, good common back then. Mirror Hall Mimic. Oh, we got a couple of blue copy stuff in these packs. So Mirror Hall Mimic is the rare. Gluttonous Guest. So there you have it. Totally fun Friday. So glad I was able to go today, and hopefully you guys are having fun playing Magic games of your own. I'll see you next time.